From the beautiful city of Los Angeles, California, we bring you the Gimme 3 podcast.
Welcome back to the Gimme 3 podcast, a series for cinephiles. This is the show where we discuss 3 films connected by one theme. And before we get started, please take this as your official spoiler alert for the 3 movies we're discussing ahead. I'm Bella of Stratus, and today I'm joined by my jolly co-host, Nicholas Ibarra. Nick, how are you doing? Are you officially in the Christmas spirit after this week's theme?
Ho, ho, ho. Saint Nick is here.
I love it. That's right. This week we are returning with a second edition of Christmas Movie or Not, the episode where we settle the debate on whether these 3 films belong in the official Christmas canon. Last year, we picked Billy Wilder's The Apartment, Tim Burton's Batman Returns, and Die Hard, of course. I think all but The Apartment passed the Christmas test. I remember I was on the fence last year, but with The Apartment, but I think we ultimately decided not a Christmas movie.
Yes. And I can't remember what we decided on Batman Returns, but I think we ended up going with, I don't remember.
I think we said Christmas. I think it did it for us.
Or were we split on that one?
Or maybe we were split. Maybe I said Christmas and you said not Christmas.
Yeah. I know we agreed that Die Hard was certainly a Christmas movie.
Die Hard for sure.
Well, you guys will have to go back and listen to it and you can let us know.
Yes, exactly. Let us know what we decided. It's been a year, all right?
Yeah.
We've watched a lot of movies since.
Yeah.
This time around, I feel like we have even more kind of questionable or controversial Christmas picks, actually. So this should be an interesting episode. And all 3 of these films are actually quite dark for the usual happy-go-lucky vibes of a Christmas film.
Yeah.
Also, last year, I had 3 criteria for what I think makes a movie a Christmas film. So just as a refresher, number 1, it must have a certain degree of Christmas iconography.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Christmas must be woven into the plot in one form or another. And number 3, it must have Christmas music. All right, now forget everything I just said because, spoiler alert, one of the movies we're talking about today took this logic and just threw it out the fucking window for me. I made me rethink everything I thought I knew about Christmas movies. So, just when I thought I cracked the code on Christmas criteria, I'm starting from scratch this episode. So here we go.
Here we go.
Nick, take us away with our first film of the day.
Well, before I take us away with our first film of the day, it
Yes.
must be noted, very important, that it was your birthday this past weekend, Bella. So happy birthday.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. You guys can probably hear it in my voice. It was a karaoke birthday, so it's pretty much on the fritz now for today. So enjoy.
All Bella wants for her birthday is for all you listeners to subscribe to our Patreon. So that's a great way to wish her a happy birthday.
Absolutely.
Enough with that holiday. Bella's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Holiday. Now we're going to another holiday. It's Christmas or not. Christmas or not. We're starting with perhaps the quintessential "Is this a Christmas movie or not?" film.
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life, one of the greatest pictures ever made, from 1946. It's directed by the legend Frank Capra. It's written by Francis Goodrich and Albert Hackett and Frank Capra. And of course, it's starring the immortal Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed. Lots of Jimmy Stewart for us lately.
Wow, so true.
Oh, yeah, it's wonderful, yeah.
Maybe too much.
All right, It's a Wonderful Life, or the George Bailey biopic. The film starts on Christmas Eve in Bedford Falls, and we hear a bunch of prayers, earnest prayers, asking for God to look out for this good man, George Bailey. And we get transported to space. And we are in a conversation with three angels who are depicted by stars. Very odd, creative opening.
Yeah.
And they're discussing how George is considering suicide. So it's like, oh man, this is dark early. And the senior angels, the two senior angels, send a second class angel to act as a guardian for George Bailey. And if it can help George, this angel will finally get his wings and no longer be a second class angel. But first, the angel and, of course, the audience as well need to learn about old George Bailey and find out how he got to this low state in life. So we journey back to George Bailey as a kid, and he's just got big dreams of leaving his humble hometown of Bedford Falls, and he wants to travel the world. He wants to be an explorer. He wants to build skyscrapers and make millions of dollars. And he's got his whole life ahead of him. But life event after life event happens, and they keep George in Bedford Falls. And over several years, we see George perform several selfless acts. He saves his brother's life when he falls in ice water, which causes George to lose his hearing in one ear. Perhaps most importantly, when his father passes away, George prevents the evil, sadistic son of a bitch, Mr. Potter, from taking over the family business and destroying it. The family business is a business and loans company helping working class folk of Bedford Falls buy their first homes or just helping them get through rough times, of which there are many in this, middle class neighborhood.
What does that get us? A discontented, lazy rabble instead of a thrifty working class. And all because a few starry-eyed dreamers like Peter Bailey stir 'em up and fill their head with a lot of impossible ideas. Now, I say...
Just a minute. Just a minute. Now, hold on, Mr. Potter. Just a minute. Now, you're right when you say my father was no businessman. I know that. Why he ever started this cheap penny-ante building alone, I'll never know. But neither you nor anybody else can say anything against his character because his whole life was... Why, in the 25 years since he and Uncle Billy started this thing, he never once thought of himself. Isn't that right, Uncle Billy? He didn't save enough money to send Harry to school, let alone me. But he did help a few people get out of your slums, Mr. Potter. And what's wrong with that? Well, here, you're all businessmen here. Doesn't it make them better citizens? Doesn't it make them better customers? You said that what'd you say just a minute ago? They had to wait and save their money before they even thought of a decent home? Wait for what? Until their children grow up and leave them? Until they're so old and broken down that do you know how long it takes a working man to save $5,000? Just remember this, Mr. Potter, that this rabble you're talking about, they do most of the working and paying and living and dying in this community. Well, is it too much to have them work and pay and live and die in a couple of decent rooms and a bath? Anyway, my father didn't think so. People were human beings to him, but to you, a warped, frustrated old man, they're cattle. Well, in my book, he died a much richer man than you'll ever be.
I'm not interested in your book. I'm talking about the building and loan.
I know very well what you're talking about. You're talking about something you can't get your fingers on, and it's galling you. That's what you're talking about, I know. Well, I've said too much. You're the board here. You do what you want with this thing. There's just one thing more, though. This town needs this measly one-horse institution, if only to have some place where people can come without crawling to Potter. Come on.
The board of directors, they vote that they want to keep the business going after George makes a beautiful, rah-rah, quite socialist speech, if I might say so myself. But they're going to vote to keep it open only if George Bailey runs the business. So George, who was literally about to catch a train to go off to college, has to put off college, stay in Bedford Falls, save the business and the town from evil Mr. Potter. And he gives his college fund to his brother so he can escape Bedford Falls. But staying home isn't all bad. You know, he does fall in love with the woman of his dreams, an amazing woman at that, Mary Hatch. They get married, and on their wedding day, just as they're about to take off for their honeymoon, lo and behold, they must abandon their honeymoon plans and their savings to keep the company solvent during a run on the bank. But Mary, the wonderful woman that she is, still manages to give George a honeymoon as romantic as as lovely as anyone could hope for. So weeks turn to months, months turn to years. One kid turns into 4 kids for George and Mary. And while his friends and his brother have gone off, they've traveled the world. They've made big money in industry-shifting businesses like plastics and whatnot. His brother has literally gone off to fight in World War II. He's a war hero. George has been grounded in Bedford Falls, fighting the enemy on the home front, Mr. Potter. But on Christmas Eve, as the town is preparing for the return of George's brother, who's, as I mentioned, a war hero, George's uncle and business partner, Billy Bailey, he's kind of a klutz, a lovable klutz, accidentally loses $8,000 of the business and loans money that belonged to their clients. And it, of course, ends up in the hands of old son of a bitch Potter. And Uncle Billy is a nervous, frantic wreck, and the bank examiner is breathing down their throats. And George finds out what Uncle Billy's done, and he just loses it. He's at Ed's rope. It's like, my God, this could mean jail time. You know, George has done right by everybody in his life, and he still seems to be staring down the barrel of total failure. He's broke. His house has fallen apart. His business is facing bankruptcy, and he could be facing jail time. All he has to show for all of his hard work and doing the right thing all his life is a measly little life insurance policy, which is worth $500 while he's alive and $15,000 with George dead. And George realizes, with some encouragement from Potter, that he is worth more dead than alive. So George says, maybe it's time to end it. Maybe everybody would be better off if I just wasn't here anymore. And that's when our guardian angel arrives on the scene. George tells the angel, I wish I was never born, And the angel shows George Bailey exactly what that would look like. A world without George Bailey. Well, what would a world without George Bailey look like? Well, his brother would have died. His brother wouldn't have lived. So thus, he would not have been a war hero. He wouldn't have saved all these men in World War II. So that's more people dead. Bedford Falls would have become Pottersville without an opposing man with integrity to fight the evil Potter. Mary would have never been married, which is like, okay, it's like, all right, well, that's low stakes compared to everything else. But it's like, oh, she's got freedom and she works at a library. That ain't so bad.
They're like, and she was an old spinster.
No!
Dun, dun, dun. No, she's wearing glasses. Oh, God.
But basically, everybody who George knew has had a shitty life without George Bailey in it. Bedford Falls is just like, it looks like the shitty rundown part of Vegas. It's just bars and whorehouses as far as the eye can see. So George understands, you know what? I think I was wrong. And he wishes it all away. He wants to live again. And he does. And we get one of the most beautiful conclusions to a film ever to grace celluloid. George rushes home. And he's wishing everybody in town, humans and buildings alike, people and places that he took for granted, Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. He gets home. He kisses his kids and his wife like he's never kissed his kids and his wife before. And Mary has a surprise for him, too, because she has called all over town telling people, oh, God, I'm worried about George. He is in trouble and he is not right. And guess what? Person by person, all the people in Bedford Falls who George has loved and helped throughout his life show up, and they give him what they can, help him with some money, the little money they have, and collectively they got enough. And George is just, in the final moments of the film, he's just surrounded by love and friends and family, and they toast to George, surrounded by all the friends in the world, the richest man in town. Bella, what'd you think of It's a Wonderful Life and Christmas movie or not?
Oh my God, this movie is amazing. I actually I don't think I'd seen this movie. I thought I had, but I think maybe I just
you either saw it or you didn't. You know, you would remember.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was like, oh shit, I've never seen this. And just was an absolute wreck at the end of it, literally bawling my eyes out. But in the best way, you know, it's a cinema. And yeah, easy to see why this is regarded as one of the greatest movies ever made. But yeah, before I answer, I'll preface this by revealing this was the film that broke my gimme 3 Christmas movie criteria logic or whatever.
Right.
You know, this movie has a fair amount of Christmas iconography. You know, the opening credits are pretty Christmassy. It's like wreaths, mistletoe, stockings, candy canes. At the end, the final scene, they sing Hark the Herald Angels Sing, like the whole town together. So you get the Christmas music there. But I wouldn't say that Christmas is really woven into the plot in a way that like really shapes the film or like, you know, it makes it a turning point or anything. I feel like Christmas is a bit more of just like a setting that also doesn't really come into the film until the very end.
Yeah, it's like the third act, basically.
But it doesn't even matter because, God damn it, this is a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I think this movie made me realize that the only real criteria for a movie to be a Christmas film is whether or not, and bear with me here, it embodies the true spirit of Christmas.
Yes, precisely.
The spirit of giving, of loving, supporting one another through thick and thin. And that is just essentially the definition of this film. And I think in that sense, this could be the ultimate Christmas movie, actually. So it's my bold statement of the day.
Yeah, I think many would agree with you. I do think it is a Christmas movie. I think it is the best Christmas movie. I think it is, you know, in terms of favorites, you know, people have different favorites or whatever, but there's an argument that this is the best American film ever made. As you said, most of the film does not take place at Christmas. I think it's partway through the second act, though, it does. And the crux of the film does take place at Christmas. And it kind of harkens back to what we were talking about last week in our Shane Black Christmas episode, where Mr. Black mentioned that he chose to set his films at Christmas because, you know, it's such an impactful time in most people's lives. And it's kind of like something that we all go through collectively, or even let's say you don't celebrate Christmas. Let's say you celebrate Hanukkah, or let's say you're an atheist and you don't celebrate any of it.
Right.
Where does Christmas fall? It falls at the end of the year. And that's where a lot of people are taking stock of where they are in life. That's what Shane Black said, and why he sets his films at Christmas. It's a time where people kind of reevaluate their lives, either or what they've done throughout the year, or what is coming up in the next year. And we've seen what George Bailey has been through, setback after setback. And he's constantly made plans, and he's constantly tried to get him and his family up and take a step forward. And he's hit these setbacks. And the film climaxes on this Christmas Eve, where he's just thinking to himself, my God, I've given it my all, and I'm still like royally fucked here. What is going on? So yeah, it is a Christmas movie, I think, in that sense, and really impactful. Last year, you mentioned your Christmas criteria when we discussed Die Hard. I had a gimme 5 reasons why Die Hard was a Christmas movie. And I went back to listen to them just because I was like, all right, let's just listen to them, just as I forgot what I said. But here's what I mentioned about why Die Hard was a Christmas movie. And so now I'm about to also compare Die Hard to It's a Wonderful Life. So nobody saw that coming.
Yeah. Okay.
As you mentioned, number one and most important criteria for a Christmas movie is the importance of the season. Returning home for Christmas / being with the family. And we get both of those here in spades, and perhaps in the most emotional and heart-wrenching, impactful way that you can imagine. Absolutely will make you love your friends and family when you walk out of the theater drying your eyes.
Yeah.
Number 2, whole plot set in motion by the holiday. This is arguable, but the film does start with, on Christmas Eve, a whole bunch of prayers being said to God, which starts the angels saying like, okay, Mr. Guardian Angel, we got to send you down to Earth to save this George Bailey on Christmas Eve. But first, here's his entire life story. But technically, the whole plot is set in motion on the holiday.
This is true.
Number 3, Christmas music. We get Christmas music.
Mm-hmm.
Not as much as perhaps we'd like, because could always use more Christmas music. There's no Santa rap in this, but that's not Frank Capra's fault. Run DMC was probably not even born yet. Number 4, God shit.
Yeah,
sorry, God
stuff.
Right. And we got a little bit of it, although subtle, in Die Hard. We certainly got it in It's a Wonderful Life. Number 5 for Die Hard was, does not apply to this one. The wife's name in Die Hard is Holly, and that's the whole purpose and goal, is to get Holly. But that's not the case for this. But however, 4 out of 5 ain't bad, and 4 out of 5, if for all of my doubters who have no heart or perhaps haven't seen the movie and heard that description and were like, that's not a Christmas movie. There's the stats. There's the stats for you. That's 4 out of 5 of my criteria. But stats out the window, as you said. You just feel it. It is the Christmas spirit. You walk out of there and you're just like, oh my God, I am just reeling and overcome with love and emotion and hope.
Yeah.
And it really, I mean, here's the thing. This is I truly believe that if everybody in the country, nay, if everybody in the world were to watch this film tonight, everybody watched it tonight, tomorrow morning, we would wake up in a better place. I truly believe that in my heart of hearts.
I agree with you. It makes so much sense to like watch this movie at the end of the, similar to the whole setting of it, like at the end of the year, because it is just like a reset, like an emotional reset.
Right.
Yeah. Gratitude and love, just like you said. Yeah. I mean, after I watched this movie, I was like, Jonathan, I love you so much.
I mean, that's great.
I wanted to call my mom. Like,
that's
it's
great.
just that kind of movie. So it's beautiful.
And, it's been a hard year for a lot of people. It's been a hard decade for a lot of people. The 2020s have been hard. Yeah. So if you need some hope and some uplift and a guiding light, throw on It's a Wonderful Life, my God. Granted, you're going to get through some aches and pains on your way to that hope, but such is life, such is life. And that's what life. That is what is so real and beautiful about this film.
Absolutely. So you said, I remember when we were when picking this movie for this episode, you said this was your favorite. Like, you grew up watching this movie every Christmas, basically, right? Like, you loved this as a kid, I think you said. Or did you discover it more later in life?
I think I saw it I think I'd seen pieces of it as a kid, but I think I watched it for the first time in its entirety when I was a teenager.
Okay, that makes sense.
And really, really loved it, and then didn't watch it again, I think, until I was, in my 20s, and since then have watched it every year. Or whenever I need to, it doesn't have to be at Christmas time. Sometimes I just need it.
Sometimes you just need it. Yeah. Well, I was going to say, that would have made you a very sophisticated child for loving this movie.
Yeah. Right.
Because it is just brilliant, beautiful 10 out of 10 movie, but with very hard hitting life truths and raw emotion. I don't think I would have appreciated this movie as much as a kid, but watching it as an adult, it's a pretty spectacularly emotional experience.
It was really wonderful. I saw this this past week, actually, at the New Beverly Cinema on the big screen.
Oh, how lovely.
Sold out crowd. And what was awesome was just seeing how many families were in there. So, moms, dads, and kids, single moms and kids, single dads and kids. There was a whole gamut. And then people alone, couples, it was just everybody under the sun coming in to see it. And it was just a rip-roaring good time, an electric screening, an electric crowd.
Oh, that's so special.
I want to talk a little bit about just like what makes this movie so unique as a film in general, not even as a Christmas movie. But I want to hear from you. Like, did you have any favorite moments, any favorite scenes, Bella?
Yeah, okay. I guess in a sense, I have like 3 ones. Give me 3 favorites.
Yeah.
I'll keep it short and sweet. But the pool dance scene was so incredible. Like, amazing choreography. So creative, absolutely hilarious, just so memorable, and such a great introduction to Mary and George as well, and like, you know, kind of defines their relationship. Like they're kind of weirdos, which I love.
yeah, they are total weirdos,
and I just love them. Number 2 has to be Mary and George on the telephone with her other guy, and God, the sexual tension between them. I was literally squealing. Like, it was so good. Oh my God. That's one of my favorite things I've ever seen. They're just like listening to this doofus ramble on the phone, and they're
plastics. Plastics. We'll get into plastics. See, put everything you got on plastics.
Like, and meanwhile, they're just like eye fucking each other the whole time.
Right.
In their own little world. Oh, it's just amazing.
Dad, how do you spell hallelujah?
How should I know? What do you think I am, a dictionary? Tommy, stop that. Stop it. Janie, haven't you learned that silly tune yet? You play it over and over again. Now stop it. Stop it. Sorry, Mary. Janie, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. You go on and practice. Pete, I owe you an apology, too. I'm sorry. What do you want to know?
Nothing, Daddy.
What's the matter with everybody? Janie, go on. I told you to practice. Now go on, play.
Oh, Daddy.
George, why must you torture the children? Why don't you...
Mary.
Bed for 247, please.
Is Daddy in trouble?
Yes, Pete.
Shall I pray for him?
Yes, Janie, pray very hard.
It's so devastating, and the performances are out of this world. I mean, like, I feel like you can see how much his lack of control is also hurting him. Like, he's self-aware. He's kind of like self-sabotaging in that moment, but he just like cannot stop, and it just makes it even that much more painful. And then also, you know, Mary and the children, like, I feel like it's just such a well-crafted scene. Like, you really understand how all of them are feeling and like taking in this kind of traumatic experience of seeing like their father and their husband just like crack for the first time, it seems, too.
And it's so wonderfully set up, that scene, because we know as the audience what is on the back of his mind and what he's up against.
Right.
They don't know it. And he comes home. I mean, it's 4 kids. It's fucking chaos when he comes home.
Oh my God.
You got the one little girl's playing the piano. I love his son's wearing a Santa mask, right?
Yeah.
And his son just comes up to him in a Santa mask and goes, "Rawr." It's like, that's not what Santa does, but it is such an honest, like, real thing for a kid to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the other kid's sick. I mean, it's just, and the wife's like, "Oh, this person's coming over. This person's coming over." He's like, "What? I'm fucking miserable here. We got company coming over?"
Yeah.
we know what he's going through. They don't know what he's going through. But also, what makes that scene also so powerful is having seen this man's whole life and what a good man he is, and to see a good man just fucking lose it, which we've all had happen to us. You know, like all lose it sometimes. It happens.
Yeah. It's such a relatable scene too.
Yeah.
Like the regret and
But yeah, just seeing it right after seeing all of his life of him being a good person and just him crumble, it is really hard and painful to watch.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to talk about like why this film is so unique, not only as a Christmas movie, but just as a film in general, as a story in general. Most stories, most films, we get most of the time it's like a couple different kinds of hero's journey. It's like either the heroes are like fated to save the day. It's like, all right, this person was meant to do this. They are, like, I don't know what's like the chosen one, like Neo from the Matrix, Luke Skywalker, Harry Potter. They were fated to be this person.
Yep.
We also sometimes get the hero's journey where the hero like faces these immense odds and then they have to like make a plan and the plan fails and they have to make another plan and they execute that plan and it's success and it's victory. It's like, okay, great. Like that is what I'd say 87% of movies are.
Yeah.
Simplifying it, obviously, but that's what most heroes' journeys as we know it are following those two categories. This hero's journey involves a man who has made plans and they just get thrown to shit constantly. Yeah. His plans do not go right. Unlike most films, Capra's film argues, we don't really have control over anything really here. So, but it's how George Bailey reacts to that hypothesis, how he handles adversity, what he does when he's getting kicked down. More often than not, he's selfless. He's thinking more about his neighbors. He's thinking about his family. He's thinking about his community more than he's thinking about himself. And in that sense, he becomes heroic. So it is a hero's journey, but it is a hero's journey that's kind of like moving down rather than moving up. And then in the end, as a twist, the filmmakers brilliantly say like, no, he's been going up. You guys just haven't been paying attention. And he hasn't been paying attention. And that is just so brilliant, so powerful.
Yeah, it really shines a light on like just how big of a difference the little things can make in people's lives. But it does it in such a powerful way. Like you said, that's perfect breakdown. I loved this movie so much. And Mr. Potter, that is the biggest, that might be the worst villain I've ever seen on screen.
Oh, yeah, he's evil, dude.
God, he's so evil. It was like hard to watch.
The other thing I like about this movie is like what's real and honest about it is like it has a happy ending, like we get this man has love in his life. And when you have love in your life, you have won the game of life. But did they beat Mr. Potter? No, Mr. Potter's still going to be out there doing evil shit.
Yeah.
And that's just going to happen. And I like that they didn't give it some cheesy, like, oh, he's going to jail for money laundering or something. It's just like, no, because why? He wouldn't, because he's just too fucking rich and powerful. But you know what? Fuck him. Who gives a fuck? He's miserable and he's old and he's grouchy. So fuck him. Don't let him ruin your Christmas, man.
He has no friends.
He has no friends. He's a miserable fuck.
And no man is a failure who has friends.
That's right. God damn it.
This movie gets us so fired up.
Yeah. It's a Wonderful Life. It is streaming on Amazon Prime. But if you live in the Los Angeles area, there's all kinds of places you can see it throughout Christmas week. It looks like Saturday, December 20th. You can see it at the Egyptian Theater on 35 millimeter. Sunday, the 21st, you can see it at the Egyptian again. It's at the Look Dine-In Cinemas in Downey and in Monrovia. On Christmas Eve, it's playing at the Alamo Draft House in downtown LA, as well as those Look Drive-In, Dine-In movies that I mentioned as well. Rooftop Cinema. And on Christmas itself, the 25th, it's playing all over Southern California, West Covina, Simi Valley, Southgate, Santa Clarita. So see it on the big screen if you can. Bring the kiddos, why don't you? And have a good family time. And this is just LA. I'm sure if you type in It's a Wonderful Life screenings near you, if you live in any major city, it pops up repertory, several theaters. So check it out on the big screen. It's a wonderful time. It's a Wonderful Life.
Movie number 2, we've got the 1984 classic family horror comedy creature feature. It's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Directed by Joe Dante. It's Gremlins. Set during Christmas in a snowy small town, the film follows Billy Peltzer, who's gifted a strange yet adorable creature called a mogwai. Along with the gift come 3 very strict rules. Number 1, keep it out of bright light. Sunlight will kill it. Number 2, don't get it wet. And number 3, never, ever feed it after midnight, no matter what.
It's like me. Those are the 3 rules for me also.
When those rules are inevitably broken, of course, the mogwai multiplies and even mutates, unleashing a swarm of mischievous and actually ultimately murderous gremlins on the town. As the gremlins trash the town on Christmas Eve, Billy and the original mogwai, Gizmo, still innocent and sweet, don't worry, and Billy's girlfriend, Kate, race to stop the creatures and save their town from total annihilation. It's pretty damn funny. It's pretty violent as well, and in a sense, weirdly influential. This was actually one of the films behind the birth of the PG-13 rating, because audiences didn't know whether it was a kid's movie or something much darker, which is fair. But the question is it a Christmas film? Well, let's see. Nick, what do you think of Gremlins? Christmas movie or not?
This one's kind of interesting. Here's the thing. This is kind of a cop-out.
Okay.
I don't think it's a Christmas movie, even though it's got Christmas all over the fucker. Decorations in basically every scene. There's Christmas music, top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really, what we talked about earlier, doesn't really have that Christmas spirit that It's a Wonderful Life or Die Hard has, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't stand behind that argument. Like if somebody was like, no, it is a Christmas movie, I'd be like, yeah, all right. Sure.
I'm easy.
I get it. It's very, the Christmas iconography is like painted all over this thing. So
yeah,
for you, this feels like it would be a Christmas movie.
I said 100% Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Mostly for that reason, which in a sense, even like that feels like a cop out a little bit, where it's like, okay, yeah, that's like the biggest reason why I would say it is a Christmas movie.
Right.
It's just like, I don't know. I think about watching it any other time of the year. And it's like, okay, well, Darlene Loves Christmas, Baby Please Come Home is blasting. And there's Santa hats and kids dressed as Christmas trees for some reason. And you get, it's like the idyllic gingerbread town.
Yep.
Covered in snow, twinkling with Christmas lights, carolers, snowballs, present. It's got all of it.
The plot is, in a way, set forth by Christmas. The inventor dad is buying his son a Christmas present with the mogwai. So, So yeah, I mean, like, technically, again, if we were looking at the stats, the statistics point to Christmas movie. So I'm not gonna. It is a Christmas movie. I just don't feel, when I watch it, I don't feel the Christmas spirit. I'll say
Yes. It's like a different category. You know,
Mhm.
maybe there's two different types of Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, you know, and there's ones that are like this, where it's like, yeah, I mean, you kind of have to say it is just because of all the Christmas stuff,
Right.
I guess, for lack of a better word. Yeah, the spirit of It's a Wonderful Life, there's none of that in this. It's kind of just a freak show, but it's a great time.
Yeah. No, it's a great time. Yeah. Wildly entertaining picture.
Oh my God. Yeah. I can't believe I'd never seen this movie. Have you seen this movie before?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was missing out. I don't know how I never saw this, especially like produced by Steven Spielberg and written by Chris Columbus. These are like the cinematic wizards of my childhood.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I could not believe I hadn't seen it. But then after watching it, I realized that this would have scared the living shit out of me as a kid. Like, I probably would not have slept for weeks after watching this movie as a kid. I was a little baby, but
Yeah.
I mean, even now, like, there were some pretty amazing and unexpected jump scares.
Yeah.
It's also very horror. I don't know, you know, I'm not the type of person that'll be like, oh, if there's horror, it can't be a Christmas movie. Like, I've got my New Beverly ticket to Black Christmas next week. Very excited.
Oh, that's one of the hottest tickets in LA.
Oh, I'm so excited. I recently watched that movie for the first time, I think last year, and I was like, oh yeah, this is going in the Christmas roto. The Christmas rotation. So, you know, it's for me, like, the horror elements of this are so fun, especially because they're also so tied into like Christmas. I mean, there's that one true horror movie scene when all the mogwai eggs hatch and the mom is home alone in the house with them. And I love how I think one of the gremlins puts on Santa Claus is Coming to Town, which is like the world's creepiest Christmas song. So you've got like, he sees you when you're sleeping going on in the background as she's like creeping around the house looking for them. And I was not expecting that whole sequence to be so violent as well. I can see why 80s parents who took their kids to see this were like, whoa, what the hell? Because it goes full slasher.
Yeah, well, it culminates with the Gremlins literally choking the mother out with Christmas lights from the Christmas tree. They're like strangling her in a bulldog choke with the Christmas lights, and I'm just like, God damn.
Yeah.
This is.
Well, I love like how the son comes home, like they're hiding in the tree and they attack her in the tree. So when he comes home, it looks like his mom is just brawling with the Christmas tree on the floor. You're just like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, I thought that scene was so great. And the mom is in like full Laurie Strode mode. Like she is killing it, literally. She blends one of them in the dad's janky blender. She microwaves another, blows him up. And then the one that I was like, whoa, was when she stabs the shit out of the other one with this giant kitchen knife.
Yeah.
So that was when I was like, oh, I'm locked in. This is
yeah. That whole
fun.
sequence is great. She throws one in the microwave and presses start, and it explodes in the microwave. It's like, oh man, that's awesome.
So awesome. And the puppets are outstanding. It makes me nostalgic. I wish we got more of that because it's so fun to see.
You mentioned how violent it was. Originally, it was going to be even more violent. I think of the original version of Chris Columbus's script. Mm-hmm. They chop off the mother's head and like send it rolling down the stairs, and they kill the dog, which is like you cannot do that.
Mm-mm.
So, and ultimately, I think both Steven Spielberg and the studio were like, yo, we got to scale this back a little bit because we kind of want it to be like, a movie, not necessarily a family movie, but like a movie that the teens could go see as they're like getting off of school and running over to the mall and stuff. It does have that horror slasher spirit. And with Joe Dante coming from the Roger Corman world, which is where, he went to school. He was an editor for Corman. He directed some very low budget movies for Corman. And he had, before he did this, he did The Howling. Wonderful independent horror slasher film, The Howling. So it does have that identity and that tone. And I think it kind of balances the Christmas and the slasherness, and like with that slasherness also comes like the cheeky tongue-in-cheek comedy. I think it kind of balances it all quite beautifully.
Yeah.
Maybe not beautifully, but it's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not like too all over the place.
Yeah.
It's like all over the place in a good way.
Yeah. Right. It knows it's all over the place and it's totally leaning into it.
I also have to say, Gizmo is the cutest creature I've ever seen. I could not even handle his fuzzy little body and the big ears and eyes. And then he started singing and I nearly cried. I was like, you're kidding me. And I was fuming over these clumsy ass kids handling Gizmo. They're like always forgetting to turn off the lights. And he's like screaming, or when Corey Feldman spills water all over him, he's squealing in pain. I was like, are you kidding me right now? I also was not expecting the kid dressed as the Christmas tree to be baby Corey Feldman. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Great casting.
Corey Feldman was in so many movies in the 80s, man.
That's so crazy. He's in everything.
Yeah. I have here 3 pieces of trivia for the old Gremlins. I want to play a game. My favorite scene, Kate's speech about her father, which is for those you're sick, Bella. For those who haven't seen it, Kate, who's the love interest / very good friend of our hero, they're walking down the street and she's explaining why she hates Christmas. You know, she's a Scrooge. And she explains the fact that it was like at Christmas, her father went missing and they couldn't find him. And her mother and her were looking for him day after day, and they couldn't eat and they couldn't sleep. And they end up, you know, like lighting the fire in the fireplace because it's cold. And then they start smelling something funky. Well, it turns out Kate's father was trying to play Santa Claus and come down the chimney and got stuck and died in the chimney. And the button on that scene, which I think is just chef's kiss, fucking wonderful line that you could deliver to wrap that scene up, is she says, and that's how I found out that there was no Santa Claus or that Santa Claus wasn't real. It's just like, what?
Oh my god, that scene. Yeah, it is just a what kind of moment.
So good. It's like, I don't know whether to laugh or cry. Well, right. That was the thing. Going back to the trivia, Kate's speech about her father, very controversial at the studio. Executives were like, no, we cannot do this. Is this funny? Is this sad? What the fuck is going on here? And director Joe Dante, he was like, no, we cannot take the scene out. He said it was represented the whole film, which had a combination of horrific and comedic elements. Steven Spielberg also did not like the scene. But despite his creative control, he was like, you know what? It's Dante's project. I hired Joe Dante. I'm going to let him leave it in the film. And let me tell you something. It's my favorite scene of the whole picture.
It's so good. And I feel like it kind of comes out of nowhere. Like all of a sudden she's just, the camera's zoned in on her and she's just telling this story. We don't see any like flashbacks. It's literally just her telling this long story. And you're like, oh my God, that is fucked up, man.
Yeah. Move over, George Bailey. This woman's got a rough life. Okay, piece of trivia number 2. One of the big rules, for these Gremlins, no bright lights. Well, one of the reasons for the no bright lights rule was that in 1984, director Joe Dante and Amblin, they could not navigate the perilous waters of the special effects for all the gremlin puppeteering. You know, it's hard to make these puppets work really well and make them look believable scene after scene after scene after scene. So by making one of the rules, no bright lights, keeping them in the dark, you can hide a lot of things. You can camouflage puppeteers in certain ways. You can, use shadows to hide certain rigs and stuff like that. It's an old sci-fi trick. And Joe Dante implemented the same tactic in the practical effects for his film The Howling in 1981.
Wow, that's so smart.
But yeah, keeping the monsters in the dark was easy and creative way to hide a lot of special effects issues.
Very cool. I mean, the puppets look great.
Yeah, Sorry. They do. Yeah, they look really wonderful. All right, and speaking of the puppets here, piece of trivia number 3, Chris Wallace, I believe was like the head puppeteer or something on this. He suggested they use puppets instead of this, what was going to be a stop motion idea. They were flirting with the idea of stop motion for a while. The studio, my God, sometimes, man. They said, well, why don't we try this? Why don't we get on a spider monkey in a suit and have the spider monkeys be the gremlins? We put the spider monkey in a suit and have them be the gremlins. They tested this hypothesis out in director Joe Dante's office with a spider monkey in a gremlin suit, and the animal went completely loco, tearing the office apart, shitting everywhere. Dante was screaming at the trainers, get the animal out of here. And then he says to Wallace, he says, so, I guess we're going with puppets, right? It's like...
Oh my God. That is insane.
What a stupid idea.
Yeah.
Oh no, like, I mean, I picked this one up off IMDb. I cannot believe that. That must be, I have to dig deeper into that one because
that's so funny.
That's so outlandish.
I can't even, I'm imagining the scene.
Right.
It's too goofy.
Right.
It's too goofy. It can't be real.
Unbelievable.
Oh, so great. Kind of random, but I want to shout out, I loved all the references and odes to classic 40s and 50s cinema in this film.
Including It's a Wonderful Life.
Including It's a Wonderful Life. But I was reading a review of the film by someone who actually noticed some similarities between It's a Wonderful Life and this. Both Billy and George are bankers with a wealthy asshole constantly out to get them.
Right.
George gets Mr. Potter and Billy gets Miss Deagle, who actually does get a fantastic, terrible fate.
Yeah, she does.
In this film. And then the idyllic town is called Kingston Falls. And in A Wonderful Life, it's Bedford Falls. So who's to say? Maybe that was on purpose, maybe not. But yeah, I loved all the shouts to, I love Invasion of the Body Snatchers, one of my favorite movies of all time. I loved some of the inspiration there, and they showed some great clips from it. And then one of the my favorite scenes was as the sun is rising, the gremlins all the gremlins go to the theater to see Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And it's just like chaos. Kate and Billy go and Kate's like, what are they doing? And Billy says, they're watching Snow White and they love it. I loved that. I thought that was great.
That scene is mayhem.
So much fun. So much fun. You gotta, if you haven't seen it, you gotta check it out. It's worth it.
My final thought that is just one thing I miss about 80s and 90s movies is frequently you'd have characters pop up that were inventors and you would just get these creative, kooky things in the house of these inventors. I'm trying to think of what other movies, the dad from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Honey, I Blew Up the Kids. He's an inventor, scientist guy. Yeah. He's got all this kooky stuff. Pee-wee's Big
Chitty Chitty
Adventure,
Bang Bang.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. You know,
Oh yeah, Pee-wee. Yeah.
they got all these fun things. It's like we're never really gonna get that again in modern films, right? Because now everything's tech and
Oh my
stuff.
God,
So
that's
it's
so
just
true.
so it was just like I don't know.
A dying art.
I liked. It's like here's the pocket groomer. It's like, man, that thing's dated as fuck, but that's creative. And the egg cracking thing, which I mean, all his inventions sucked, obviously, but.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was just a fun piece of the film that I enjoyed. I was like, what's that dad going to come up with now? That crazy pop. All right, my film's what's it called? Gremlins. Available to stream on Disney Plus, HBO Max, and Hulu. Or you can check out your local video stores. Vidiots, Videotech, Cinephile Video are all great options if you live in the Los Angeles area. Support your local video stores. Check out Gremlins, and then, of course, you can check out Gremlins 2, the new batch. That, my friends, is going to take us to a quick break. But guess what, Bella?
What?
We have a new segment. This week, we do not have Sonia's Movie Minute this week. We have the 1-minute movie rebuttal. Because last week, during a very black Christmas, Shane Black Christmas films, I went in a little, I would say hard but fair on a film called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Mm-hmm.
And one of our listeners, Ryan Lacen, who's also a former guest, decided to come at me in a very violent way. He came at me with a knife. And he was wielding this knife and just screaming at me. And I said, wait a second. Why don't you do this? Why don't you give yourself a rebuttal? I'll give you a segment on the show where you can do your own rebuttal and talk about why I was wrong about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Well, that's what we're about to get right now. For the first time ever, the 1-minute movie rebuttal. So stick around for that and much more right here on the Gimme 3 podcast.
With Sonia's Movie Minute taking a week off, I'm pleased to present the 1-minute movie rebuttal. Last week, we heard a terrific episode for A Very Black Christmas, but one film in particular received a bit of a beating, and it's time for a rebuttal. I'm talking about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Though I agree with Nick and Bella that the plot gets a little messy, and the film dives into some heavy subject matter while always living in a slightly absurdist tone, the performances and sharp dialogue turn it into a uniquely wild ride that deserves way more love. I could talk about how it's a meta riff on the action genre that Shane Black helped shape, or how it delivers one of the funniest on-screen duos with Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr. But what I find makes this movie so enjoyable is how it paints Los Angeles like a circus. It understands the city's grit and quiet desperation, the flawed characters struggling to be seen. It's about dreams, the ones that haunt us, the ones we chase, the ones we lose, the ones we're hoping to get another shot at. The film starts off with two kids, one dreaming of becoming a magician and the other an actress. But this isn't a fairy tale. When we meet them again, they're middle-aged, fucked up, living in Los Angeles, forced to confront the reality that life didn't unfold the way they imagined. But this is LA, and there's always hope. Hope of seeing the bigger picture, of becoming a hero, or finding the one who got away, that childhood crush who grows up to be Harmony Lane, played by the wonderful Michelle Monaghan, who is a delightful mix of chaos, wit, and honesty. I understand the criticism that this film varies in genre, it's part Raymond Chandler, it's part screwball comedy, all layered with Black's satirical look at his own action movies like Lethal Weapon. But if you like all those things, which I do, and want to spend 2 hours listening to Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer bust each other's balls, then I think you're going to enjoy this film. And that's it for the 1-minute rebuttal, which was more like 2 minutes, but who's counting?
It's the Gimme 3 podcast, everybody. Christmas movies or not, we're back with that theme that was so enjoyable last year. Of course, you just heard the 1-minute movie rebuttal. And my friends, if you guys have a movie rebuttal ever for something that we talk about on the podcast, if we love something that you don't, if we don't love something that you love, drop us a line, drop into our DMs, text us, scroll down to our episode description. There's a link that says send us a text message. Just say, hey, I want to do a movie rebuttal, and we can get this organized, and you could be on the show with a movie rebuttal. But right now, as I mentioned before the break, we discussed the bona fide classic, one of the greatest films of all time, It's a Wonderful Life. And then the cult classic, wildly entertaining film Gremlins. And right now we are going to bring it on home with another contested Christmas movie, ? Trading Places, Christmas movie or not. Trading Places from 1983, directed by John Landis, starring Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd, and Jamie Lee Curtis. We got these rich pricks, these brothers, Randolph, and lots of rich pricks in these Christmas movies or nots we're discussing today, huh?
Yeah, so true.
We got these rich pricks, Randolph and Mortimer. What a name, Mortimer. The Duke brothers. They own a commodities brokerage firm. What's a commodities brokerage firm? I don't know. Duke and Duke Commodity Brokers is their name. They live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And they have witnessed an encounter with their managing director, who's a very well-mannered, well-educated Louis Winthorpe III. And he's engaged to the Duke's grandniece, Penelope Witherspoon. So Louis and this poor black street hustler, Billy Ray Valentine, again, what a name. They have a little confrontation. Valentine is arrested as Winthorpe's insistence after Billy accuses him of that he was trying to rob him. He really just ran into him. What's their names again? Randolph and Mortimer. See this interaction. And they've got opposing views on this issue of nature versus nurture, you know. The Dukes make a wager and agree to conduct an experiment to observe the results of switching the lives of Valentine and Winthorpe. Two people in two very different socioeconomic statuses. Winthorpe, who, by the way, is played by Dan Aykroyd, he is framed for thievery, drug dealing, philandering, all by this guy named Clarence Beeks, a man who's like secretly on the Duke's payroll.
Darling, I'm so glad to see you.
Louis, you're making a scene.
The good news is I'm innocent. I've never even done anything vaguely resembling this. Really, it's the truth.
Louis, you look awful. I'm so ashamed. Those clothes and those shoes and you've been fighting and you smell.
I smell. Penelope, do you realize where I've been since yesterday? They beat me up and stole my clothes. Those men wanted to have sex with me.
That's this somewhere else,
One of
Louis?
them tried to bend me over this, I mean, if this place is indicative of the state of correctional institutions in this country, they might as well let all the convicts out. It's far worse on the inside.
Stealing from your friends at the club, Louis? Heroin, Louis? Have you lost your mind? Mother wants me to call off the wedding, and so does Todd.
Todd? What does Todd have to do with it?
You've been fired from Duke and Duke, and they're preparing charges against you for embezzlement.
Embezzlement? I've never stolen anything in my life.
How could the man I loved, whose children I wanted to have and breastfeed, be a heroin dealer?
It wasn't heroin. It was angel dust, PCP, and it... Listen, Penelope, I swear to you, on my honor, with Almighty God as my witness, I am not an angel dust dealer.
He is fired from Duke and Duke. His bank accounts are frozen. He is denied entry into his Duke-owned home. He is ostracized by his would-be fiancée, Penelope, and her friends. Essentially, his life is over. But he's befriended by Ophelia, who is a hooker with a heart of gold. She's a prostitute who helps him. Meanwhile, the Dukes post bail for Billy Ray Valentine, Eddie Murphy. And they give him a job. And they're like, hey, we're going to pay you $80,000 a year. And you're going to live in this wonderful house. And you're going to have a great job. And he's like, what's the trick here? Well, there is a trick, of course. They switch lives, and it turns out that one of these brothers was right. If you just put the people in the right situations and give them some, what's the word?
Money.
Privilege. Money. Yeah. If you give them some money and privilege, they're going to succeed. What ends up happening is during a Christmas party, Winthorpe plants drugs in Valentine's desk, attempting to frame him. He's swinging a gun around, and he's a total mess. And there's like, look at this. See, now he's this formerly rich dude who was all well-mannered is now fallen into a life of crime, and he's a total disaster. Well, Valentine also discovers in the bathroom that the two brothers had made this deal, had made this wager, decided to change both these men's lives for a $1 bet. So Valentine and Winthorpe end up working together using both of their skills, because throughout the film, both of these men seem to know a lot more about broking and the stocking and all this kind of stuff than the Dukes themselves. They are the reason for the success. So the two men end up working together to try and screw the two richer men. Trading Places. Bella, what'd you think of Trading Places? It is a Christmas movie or not?
Oh, Trading Places.
I could always tell when you don't like a movie because you always go, oh, this movie.
Like clockwork. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan. It definitely is like classic 80s. And I don't know, I might regret saying this, but sometimes I feel like with movies like this, like 80s comedies, sometimes I almost feel like it's like a you had to be there, like nostalgic factor.
Right.
Because I don't know, it just didn't work for me. Maybe I'm just pulling at straws here, maybe. But
well, were you watching this movie topless and on cocaine, Bella?
Actually, no, but next time I will.
Next time, do it that way, and you're probably gonna love it.
Yeah, that would make more sense. The performances were fine. I wasn't blown away by any of them.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I thought the Trading Places aspect was going to be whimsical. The last thing I expected was that it would be orchestrated by two evil, greedy, racist billionaires,
right?
Billionaire brothers. And that was somehow even more far-fetched than magic for me. But and some of the humor worked for me, but most of it, take it or leave it. The one thing I loved about this movie was Jamie Lee Curtis. She feels like the heart of this movie, even though they're kind of just constantly trying to show her tits. But she still commands the screen and delivers the emotion and the connection and the heart of the film. And I don't know, I really liked her performance.
She is the hooker with a heart of gold, which is like...
She's just the classic, it's the classic trope.
It's the trope, but she is the one that is got the moral compass of the film.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that's why I loved her so much. She was the only one who was like moral, the moral compass. You said it perfectly.
She always keeps her integrity, intact.
Yeah.
Everybody else, whether it's the evil brothers who are always kind of sadistic and greedy, or the other two gentlemen who at different times in their life were sadistic and greedy, she always she never changes,
Yeah, and she's not afraid to like call you out about it too.
Right.
Put you in your place. So I really, really liked her character and her performance. In terms of Christmas, it's not a Christmas movie in my books.
Yeah.
When I first turned it on, Jonathan and I tried to guess what Christmas song would start the movie. I think he said, "Let It Snow." I said, "Santa Claus is Coming to Town." And then it wasn't even a Christmas song. It was like Vivaldi or some bullshit. And no shade, Vivaldi. But I don't know. There's hardly any Christmas iconography, like bare minimum, some decor here and there. There's that one scene where Dan Aykroyd's dressed in like a filthy Santa costume.
That's probably the best sequence of the film.
And that's, exactly. 100%.
Just what do you think you're doing? Randolph, Mortimer, come in here quickly. I finally caught him.
Who are you?
I've caught him red-handed.
Winthorpe, is that you?
I'm making a citizen's arrest. This man is a drug dealer. Look, Look, here in his office drawer, he's got all the bad drugs here. Marijuana joints, pills, Quaalude, Valium, yellow ones, red ones, cocaine grinder, drug needles. He's the pusher, not me.
Really, I just came in and caught this man planting this stuff in my desk. It's obviously some primitive attempt to try to frame me.
Frame you? Boy, if that isn't the pot calling the kettle black.
This man's obviously a lunatic. I'm calling security.
Put that phone down.
Hello, security. Merry Christmas.
Try to rob me? Plant drugs on me? You steal my house, my car, my job? You know, I ought to kill him right now.
Hey, look, man, this is a big misunderstanding, all right? I don't know nothing about your house and your car and your job, really. Could you put that gun away? Were you asked to do?
Put that gun away at once, Winthrop. You lost your mind?
Freeze, slimeball!
Whoa. I realize this whole experience must have been rather unsettling for you.
Winthrop, don't leave. We can explain.
Yeah. You'll be sorry.
You'll all be very, very sorry.
I know this doesn't always apply. For example, we talked about LA Christmas, Die Hard, and the judgment of that. But there's no snow. And it's set in like Pennsylvania or somewhere where there would be snow.
It's set in Philly, yeah.
And so I thought that was criminal. You got to give me snow at the very least. Yeah, Christmas feels more of like a setting than part of the plot in any way, shape, or form. So I'm giving it not a Christmas film. But what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with the not a Christmas film. This film really is kind of the antithesis of It's a Wonderful Life. It is so. I like this movie. I think it's funny. You know, I grew up with it, so it's I have a bit of nostalgia for it. I love Eddie Murphy. Nice. I love Dan Aykroyd. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. So yeah, I mean, I have a soft spot for this film, but this is the first time I rewatched it in quite a long time. There is quite a bit of fat on it, I would say. Like, there are some sequences that are really, really funny. I love the scene where Eddie Murphy goes to the bar as the rich man and brings all the people from his dive hood bar over to the rich place, and then he totally changes and he's like, hey man, what the fuck, you dropping all this shit on my floor? And there's just titties everywhere, and it's but it's just a funny scene. Eddie Murphy's great in it, and as I mentioned, I love the scene where Dan Aykroyd goes nuts, shows up in the dirty Santa suit, is wielding a gun, and the scene that follows that, which is like so dark, but it has such a comedic button on it where Dan Aykroyd's plan did not go well, and he's dirty and he's drunk as shit, and he's got like salmon in his jacket, and he gets out of the bus and he's got this gun and he's about to blow his brains out, and he pulls the trigger and the gun doesn't go off. So he just drops the gun and you hear it go off and go ping off of us. The bullet goes off of a sign. It's just like such a funny little beat. So when it leans into the more slapsticky, like comedic stuff of it, I think the movie really finds its footing. When you let Eddie Murphy be funny, which they should have done way more, it's really good. But unfortunately, so much of the film and so much of the runtime is like taken up with like details about broking and frozen orange juice and stocks and numbers, and it's just like, fuck, that's boring.
Yeah.
Like
they're treating us like babies. Like they're like, we have to make sure they really understand what the job is.
Well, here's the thing. Like I am an idiot. So they kept talking about it, and I still wouldn't have understood it.
Oh, it didn't make any sense.
But it's like, all right, I don't really care, like just move on. You can keep talking about it as much as you want, but I want to see some fucking jokes. Give me some goddamn jokes. Dance, monkey, for as many fun funny sequences as there are as many sequences that are just like, man, this is some really tedious exposition for a comedy film. And we're like still giving exposition and we're like an hour 20 into the motherfucker. Come on, let's move this along.
Yes, I totally agree. I think that's where I'm like, I could understand enjoying this movie more with a nostalgic factor because, you know, as a first time watch for me, yeah, there's just so much that I was like, I really did not need that. Yeah. And then it makes the movie longer and then you're kind of like pulled out of it. But I do agree with I agree with everything. Eddie Murphy is so good in this movie. It's Eddie Murphy doing Eddie Murphy, you know? He's doing what he does. And there were so many, I would say like his scenes were the scenes that I was the most invested in, like in terms of humor, obviously. Like I thought those were the funniest.
Right.
And Dan Aykroyd eating the salmon through his like filthy beard was great because that was so fucking nasty. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean it is it's worth a watch. I would say it's worth a watch. I do agree. I don't think it's a Christmas movie. It does not have that Christmas vibe, that Christmas spirit. The plot really, as you mentioned, doesn't have that much to do with Christmas. It just kind of takes place around Christmas.
I guess you could argue it's like, oh, the Christmas miracle for Eddie Murphy's character, where
I suppose.
But like,
yeah, there's something for you. I think there's something for everybody here. And then there's some stuff that a lot of people will absolutely hate, like Dan Aykroyd in blackface. So
yeah, I was very surprised to see that.
I forgot about it. And then he came out, I was like, oh, right. This is happening.
That whole scene. I was like, what the hell just happened to this movie? Like, where is this going?
Right. Like that scene drags, man. It's just like this person comes in, then this person comes in, then this person comes in. I'm like,
and the gorilla.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a gorilla.
Like, girl, what are we doing? But it's. I'm not calling it a bad movie by any means.
It's not. It's
not for me. It's actually.
It's quite enjoyable.
There's a lot of great things in it. Yeah.
Here's what you do: you whip off your shirt, listeners at home. Whip off your shirt. You rail one line in one nostril and 2.5 lines in the other nostril. You throw this fucker on, and you're gonna have a great time.
I mean, guaranteed, right?
And then you go buy some frozen orange juice from concentrate. Frozen concentrated orange juice. Which, did you ever have that? This is probably way past your time, Belle, but did you ever have that stuff?
I don't think so.
It really was a thing.
Wow.
They had these frozen orange product in cans that you would whip out and put in a not a glass, but a pitcher. Throw some water in there and whip it up, kind of like Kool-Aid.
Oh wow!
And you have orange drink.
Okay.
And they made it during I think the war, like World War II, is when this product came out.
Oh yeah! Wow.
Really helped revolutionize farming. See, now look what they've got me doing here. I'm talking.
Really helped revolutionize farming.
No, I did though, because farmers were always like, oh, it's orange season. Well, it's like, well, what do we do with all these oranges now? They've gone bad. Well, it's like, oh, well, let's freeze them and make this orange concentrate drink.
It's very smart, actually.
It is smart. In the 80s, you're a little bit closer to all that happening too, and it was just like way more of a thing. So that probably adds a little bit more too.
It's a very 80s movie.
Oh, it's 80s. All right.
Yeah.
Trading Places, available to stream on Paramount Plus, AMC Plus, Peacock, Tubi. Finally, Bella, we watch some movies that are available for us to stream.
Right? Canopy as well.
Canopy as well. There you go. Free with a library card. So check it out. Let us know what you think. Do you disagree with us? Do you think that Trading Places is a Christmas film? Well, let us know. Do you disagree with us that It's a Wonderful Life is a Christmas film? Let us know. What do you think about Gremlins? What do you think about all these films? There's 2 ways to let us know. One, on Instagram. Gimme 3 podcast. That's GIMME, spell out 3 podcast. Slide into our DMs. Drop us a comment. just follow us on Instagram. There's all kinds of ways to get in contact with us there. Another way to get a hold of us is by sending us a text message. Scroll down to our episode description, click the link that says send us a text message, and your message will go directly into our inbox. And if it's witty, insightful, or even controversial, we may even read it right here on the air. As I mentioned, if you have a film rebuttal, please let us know in the 2 ways I previously mentioned, and we may put your film rebuttal right here on the air. If you enjoy the Give Me 3 podcast, there's a couple ways, 3 ways, in fact, to support the show. Number 1, download our episodes. Set our podcast to automatically download. Helps us out, helps you out. You can listen to the show wherever you are. You won't be beholden to that stinking Wi-Fi. You can listen to us as you're on your road trip to visit the family or on your airplanes to visit the family. Download our episodes. Really helps out the show. Number 2, we do have a Patreon, as I mentioned. For a mere $5 a month, you can subscribe to our Patreon. There's bonus content on there, and it really just helps keep us going, helps keep the microphones on. The third way is by letting your friends know. If you've got friends who are movie fans who you think would enjoy the show, please share the show with them. Bella, do you want to let the lovely folks know where they can find you on the socials?
Yep, you guys can find me on Instagram at Portrait of a Cinephile or on Letterboxd at BFStratus.
You can find me on Letterboxd, on Instagram, or on Blue Sky at Nicholas Ibarra. Ibarra is spelled with a Y. We want to thank you all for listening to the Gimme 3 podcast, and we will see you at the movies.